You will never amount to anything. We shall see, brother.
What's going on, YouTubers? This is Zen from Zen Multiverse, and I hope you're having a great day. So today we are doing a rundown and review for the Shield, right? So as you can see, I have the Shield, the book right here. So I'm going to go through a couple of the pages as we do the rundown. The story is pretty phenomenal. It's by Liefeld, and yeah, it's by Archie Comics. So I'm not too familiar with Archie Comics other than the Archie Comics, right? But that I never read. Really just watched the cartoon back in the day, but this seems to be a origin-based character, right? And when I say origin, one of the superheroes that preceded many of the other superheroes, right? That we all know and love. So let's get started. So we start this book pretty much with Old Man the Shield, right? And this is William Higgins as he's described, and he looks pretty cool, pretty stellar character. So I'm not too sure. I read this book actually 3 times because I wanted to make sure that I got all the information in, not because it was bad or anything of that nature. I just wanted to make sure that I had everything down packed, right? So basically, this character he's a patriot-based character, right? And I don't want to make comparisons to other superheroes, but he's just very patriotic. He's for his country and things of that nature. Then we get introduced to these characters. Now, these characters are the Crusaders, okay, that we find out a little bit later on, and they seem just overall pretty cool, right? I'm gonna look at the pages right here. We have Fly Girl, we have Captain Commando, we have Jaguar, we have Black Hood, we have Comet, we have Fox, and then we have Lancelot Strong, right? And they're led by their leader, and their leader is the Shield, the current Shield, okay? At least in this book. So what she's talking about is that there's a time-place variant, right? Called Joe Higgins, and Joe Higgins happens to be the Shield, right? The Shield that we saw in the beginning of the front of the cover of the book, right? So we're actually following his story. Now, the Crusaders seem to be characters from different worlds, right? Different worlds that have come together to basically do a mission. Now, what their mission is, we're not too sure yet. But then we lead into Joe Higgins. Now, Joe Higgins, he's an amazing character. I love the way he's written here, because basically he's sitting down, and then there's a whole bunch of people who come in, right? And they're like, give us basically the armor, as you can see right here in the panel. And then he's basically like, no, but since you asked nicely, he like knocks out this person who's coming to get the armor. Now, the armor that we see right here is what he's actually wearing. Now, he describes the armor, and he basically says, my father was invulnerable, things of that nature, and he was the first person, right? And this is the character that we saw in the beginning of the book, which is William Higgins, and this has led me to believe that this is his father, right? But anyway, he goes through the book. He goes through the couple of pages and panels, and he basically says, well, I'm not the first Shield, right? He talks about the other characters who took up the mantle of the Shield while he's kind of fighting. He mentions Victoria Adams, Lancelot Strong, and these are the characters that we saw who were part of that team, right? Which is pretty cool. One of the things I really love about this character is that once we get to a couple of panels where he's like going in, he's like, he's like, people wonder if I could change the world, right? I'm not powerful enough to change the world. And he's like, I have this armor, and he gives insight about the armor. Now, the armor has some kind of indestructibility, right? It's not like he's invincible, but at the same time, he's pretty strong and durable. I think his predecessor, his dad, right? Or, speaking about his dad actually had abilities. He doesn't have really abilities. Maybe I got this part wrong. But it's basically the armor that he has that he wears, and this gives him his ability and strength and durability and things of that nature. But the thing that I really love about this character is not so much about his powers, it's just about the way he talks, right? He talks about, he's like, I'm not fighting for he basically says, I'm not fighting for America for the way it is. I'm fighting for the America that will be, right? Like he's fighting for the future of everything. And he's like, if I'm in a burning building, I'm gonna do this, right? I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. And he described himself as like a Boy Scout, right? And I think it's pretty cool because you often don't really get those characters anymore, right? But we get to know his character that he's just gonna do what's right and that's it. But the twist here is, he goes through this, so then we get back to the Crusaders, and they're talking about like, this seems to be the only way. This seems like the only way that we could do things, right? So we have the Shield right here, which is the leader of the Crusaders, and she's basically like, we have to do something. We have to kill Joe Higgins. Joe Higgins must die, and Joe Higgins is our character, is our Shield, right? The character who we were just going through, and it's like, whoa, he's doing the right things for the right reason. So, and they're good guys, so why do they have to kill him? To basically save reality, right, in this sense, okay? Because she does mention in the beginning that he is time displaced, right? He's not in the right timeline, right? What that truly means, I'm not too sure, right? But I think that's pretty cool because his character is an older character, so he's kind of popping up in this timeline. But for what reason, how, I'm not too sure. Why are the Crusaders coming together? Why do they have to kill him? I really don't know. So I'm pretty excited to read more about this book, right? I think it's pretty cool. I know there's some people were like, he's kind of like a Captain America type character. Well, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. You know what I mean? I'm okay with him being a Captain America-esque character. Because having characters who just do the right things for the right reasons isn't really about being Captain America. I think it's really about just being a good person, right? Being a good neighbor. And the patriotism of wearing these colors, whatever. If you're living in America, I think there's a lot of things that are not going right? But what he says in the book makes so much sense. It's like, I'm not fighting for how America is right now. I'm fighting for how America will be, right? And I think that's phenomenal, right? Because it gives pride into not giving up on where you live, right? It gives pride into just that you can make a change. It will make subtle changes, but it's best to invest in your future. So, with that being said, I'm hopping out of here. What would I rate this book in terms of just like a rating? I would rate it probably a go read it, right? Go read this book. And if you're like, Zen, why should I read this book? Just give something you a try. I think Rob Liefeld did a really great job on this book. I've never picked up an Archie comics, and I'm gonna pick up more. I can't wait to see. This is a one-shot. I hope it deviates into like a different storyline, because now I'm like really invested in this book. So with that being said, everyone, this is Zen from Zen Multiverse saying peace, love, and prosperity. If you're enjoying my content, drop me a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you all later for the next video. I'm gonna be doing some X-Men. New X-Men team just dropped, so it's time, everyone. Later, everyone.